As angry as the House was yesterday, expressing outrage at AIG,
the only way to get their money back is to tax it back.
Even making up names for AIG,
shorthand for arrogant, irresponsible greed.
The banking industry today accused the House of going overboard, passing a 90% tax on employee bonuses not just at AIG, but at 8 other banks, some of which, like J.P. Morgan Chase, were essentially ordered to take bailout funds to get credit moving, but which now have a major incentive to give those funds back.
So it's if one company made a mistake, so you go out and shoot everybody else.
Steve Bartlett, who represents most of the banks, calls the fine print in the bill the killer because it applies that 90% tax not just to executives, but to employees making $125,000 a year, a provision he says penalizes the highly productive workers who make the loans.
And who loses? The consumers of these companies, the small business, the home mortgages.
On Wall Street, meanwhile, where there is no love for AIG, the House bill still raised fears Washington can't be trusted.
It's a disaster because you're changing rules midstream.
Hedge fund manager Anthony Scaramucci says private investors are sitting on $4 trillion worth of cash, and the Treasury and Federal Reserve are now trying to lure that money into public partnerships. One plan to unfreeze the credit markets for auto loans and credit cards. Another plan coming next week will ask investors to buy discounted mortgages. So this was a week for confidence, investors say, not 90% taxes.
Private money is scared because there's indecision and there's politics driving the decisions that relate to shareholders.
Republicans, meanwhile, plan to keep the AIG outrage alive. They say it shows the president wasn't paying attention when it mattered most.
The responsibility of the president is to know what he is signing.
But it's also likely those 90% taxes will never be law. The bill is widely seen as unconstitutional. The president won't commit to signing it. Call this one an outrage vote, but not much else. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.